Hi guys, it's Jen here. We're going to talk about the Laurastar just a little bit, and I'm going to show you what I do with my fabric when I buy it and take it home. So the Laurastar is steam. When you buy this one with this board, it has two different settings. So the steam that comes out of here is super hot, so it's like a dry steam, a dry heat. So your fabric, once it's steamed, doesn't get wrinkled as you're going through. This yard probably won't touch the floor, but sometimes when you have multiple yards of fabric, it hits the floor, and by the time you get to the end, you end up with, wrinkles again, because with a regular iron, there's water that's in the iron. The water doesn't get hot enough for it not to end up in your fabric. So this has, just turn this on. So sometimes water condensates in the tube, and so you'll get water. So you want to, away from you, just kind of steam it, make sure that, that dissipates. Otherwise, if you go straight to your fabric, you might get a little bit of water.
And you put the water in the tank down here, is that right?
Yes. So there's just a tank here. It comes with a filter in it. So you can use, Laurastar says you can use tap water. If you use distilled water or whatever, it's just beeping at me because I took the water tank out. But yes, it comes with filters. We sell the filters. You get a couple of filters when you purchase the machine. That lasts a good amount of time. If I have it on and I'm using it all day, I usually fill it at one point. So you just fill that with water. You turn it on. It takes about 3 minutes to warm up. It has a power off switch, like it'll go off after 5 minutes of not using it, but there is an override button. But be careful using the override button, because you might forget that you turned it on and you leave it on, and that's not good for the machine. But sometimes if I've been going back and forth from quilting to the machine, I'll override it so that it doesn't turn off, because by the time I'm done piecing all my strips, it's turned off and I have to turn it on and wait for it again. But if I leave my sewing room, I turn it off. So this board does two things. It sucks, it has a fan down here, and it will suck the steam through the fabric, which is great for jeans and things like that. I don't know if you can see that, so it'll suck it through the fabric. But sometimes what happens is that if you're doing a shirt, I use it to do my fabric. I use it to suction down, and it suctions through the fabric. I'm very careful with it. But with certain things like blouses and things like that, all you have to do is hit this button on the front, and it blows it the other way.
Oh my goodness!
And what that does is it prevents you from getting creases in your fabric, because it blows it out of the way. So you have a less tendency to run over it and create a crease that you then have to try and get out the crease. So that's why we like to blow it this way. But for jeans and things like that, if you blow it the other way, what it does is it pulls it through the fabric so that it goes all the way through. But as you can see, this is a 1 yard cut.
You would have had to, with a regular iron, do that crease right there.
Well, yeah, and like the center crease that's been sitting on the bolt sometimes takes. So I tell people that the only reason this takes as long as it does for this yard of fabric is because I have to stop and move it on the board. But once I do it, it definitely keeps it longer.
That's amazing.
It's super fast. Great. And it's great for pressing pieces as well.